This conference will now be recorded.
I got 6 o'clock. All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll get you to stand up and remain standing. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Caldwell, will you honor us with a catch, please?
Dear most gracious and Heavenly Father God, we thank you as always for bringing everyone here safe this evening. Lord, we thank you for the beautiful weather we're experiencing today. We pray, Father, please that you will just watch over everything that goes on here today, that everything done will be pleasing to you, that everything done is going to just make everyone in this town better than they've been. Just bless everyone with the knowledge and wisdom they need, Father. And we pray this prayer to you in Jesus' holy and precious name. Amen.
Amen.
If you will, we'll have just a moment of silence for our neighbors who passed away. We had Catherine Campen. Thank you so much. Y'all please be seated. And if you would at this time, check your cell phones. Make sure you got your ringers off. And I'll ask the board if there's anybody that has a conflict of interest with anything on the agenda tonight, please let it be known now. All right, that said, next agenda is the adoption of the agenda as it is.
Mayor, I'd like to make a change on the speak up consent agenda. I would like to remove item H and place it on the regular agenda.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to request that we table items 11 and 12 till the next meeting so that the new incoming town manager has some input on those items, please.
I couldn't hear what you said, Doc.
I'd like to table 11 and 12 till the next meeting so that the new town manager would have some input on those, please.
All right, so we have moving the item H resolution from the consent agenda to the regular meeting schedule. I'll put that at item number, we'll put it in item 10. And then to move 11 and 12 till next meeting, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve that, the agenda with those changes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, with that, next up is the public comment. I think we have one person that is wanting to speak, and that is Ms. Lori Blaze. If you would just wait just a second, we're going to get you a microphone.
Ready?
All right, go right ahead.
I'm Lori Blaze. I live on Holly Lane at 309. I have two things. One of them may have to go to the planning board. I don't know. But I have had numerous cars on Yopon not knowing where the center of the road is. I've almost been sideswiped 3 times. I've been run off the road. I've had to replace the mirror on my son's car. And 2 weeks ago, somebody was coming off of 24 in a rather large truck with the big mirrors on the side, you know, the ones with the campers, almost hit me head on. People cannot judge where the center of the street is on Yopon. Somebody needs to look at it to see if it's actually wide enough or put some markers down so that everybody can go, oh, I'm supposed to be on this side or that side and not take up the whole street. So if it goes to the ordinance people, great. Transportation, I don't know. The second thing is, I think it's wonderful that we have the gas company coming in to lay new lines for new customers. It gives all of us residents in town an alternative to electricity or propane to heat and cool and cook with. However, when they installed the lines on Holly Lane, they dug up half of my front yard, and they never came back to complete the job in repairing my yard. My lawnmower has almost flipped with me twice trying to mow my yard. I give up on trying to mow that right away. My push mower, I've tried it with that. I have broken the blade. I came to town hall when all this started, and I was very polite. You know, who's responsible? Is it the gas company? Is it the town? Or is it me? I was told the town would come and repair the yard for me. It's still not done. And here we are in another grass growing season, and I need to cut my yard. And I don't want to cut that strip because I know what's going to happen. And I see that you also have the fiber optic people coming in. When you look at these contracts for these installations, it's awesome, it's great, I get it. But who's responsible for repairing the damage to people's yards that we still have to pay taxes on, although it's in a utility right away? And that's it. Thank you.
What's your address at Holly Lane?
309.
Do you know where Holly Lane is?
Yes, I do.
You know where it is now?
Yes, I've always known where it's at.
You didn't a year ago. It's 309.
309.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Is that all we had? Okay. All right. Next up is planning board report. Ms. Holtz.
Excuse me.
Good evening. Planning Board report. The Town of Cape Carteret Planning Board met March 18th, 2025. Following members present: Minnie Truax, Paxton Holtz, Mike Denmead, Jeremy Granger, Meredith Petrilli. Quorum was present. Meeting called to order at 6. Town Manager Frank Rush, Town Planner Julie Shambaugh, and other attendees were also present. Mr. Rush introduced Jean Foxworth, the new town manager, who will start on May the 1st. Minutes of February 18th were approved unanimously. No public comments were presented. Ms. Shambaugh provided an overview of the B20 zoning district UDO text amendment application submitted by Island Church representatives. Church representatives are requesting that the 3-acre minimum lot size requirement in a commercial zone for a church be eliminated. Their rationale is that the restriction applies only to religious uses and appears to be counter to the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act of 2000, codified in 42 U.S.C. 2000 CC, protection of land use as religious exercise. Since our planning board tabled this request for 30 days, and since our meeting is not until tomorrow, I can't give you any further report on this. However, we're hoping for some guidance from our town attorney as to whether this argument is valid. Okay? Ms. Shambaugh provided an overview of the Appendix A chart of dimensional requirements updates and proposed an associated UDO amendment. Purpose of the update and amendment is to remove obsolete information and to eliminate confusion and conflicts. This mostly deals with setbacks, building setbacks. So I believe y'all will address that. Ms. Petrilli made a motion to approve the updated Appendix A chart and provide it to you for your April 14th meeting, which is this evening. Motion seconded by Ms. Truax was approved unanimously. So there was discussion of home child daycare as opposed to daycare, and I requested that the churches be provided with these proposed updates. So, Mr. Rush reported that the site plan for commercial property on Taylor Notion Road next to the Aquatic Center was being amended and would likely be on the April Planning Board agenda. Again, that's not till tomorrow night. So I'm sorry I can't give you updates on those two items, but my input under Planning Board member comments was that I am eager to locate and dedicate a public road on Channel View from NC 24 to Section 1 of Country Club Point. Mr. Rush stated the survey firm would need to be retained to locate a proposed right-of-way, let adjacent property owners review it, and then record the right-of-way as part of the improvements that the town plans to make to the road to get everything correct. Mr. Granger made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Holtz. Motion passed unanimously. Meeting adjourned at 7:30. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Does the planning board still require a commercial site plan for development?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, next up is the consent agenda minus item H.
Motion to adopt consent agenda as amended.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, next up is the added item, which was the item H resolution authorizing encroachment agreements for fiber optic line installation at various locations.
Mayor Baker, Commissioners, you have in your packet several pieces of information from Brightspeed, which is the company that is proposing the installation of new fiber optic line throughout Cape Carteret and actually all throughout western Carteret County. A map of just the Cape Carteret area that's proposed is on the screen at the front of the room. That's obviously all in your packets as well. That's the extent of the work that they're planning in Cape Carteret. This is an issue that was discussed with the board at the March meeting. You may recall that I came to you with an additional agenda item to authorize an encroachment permit for Brightspeed for this work. They had mistakenly begun work prior to that date without having a permit from the town. They did have a permit from NCDOT for work on the state maintained roads in the town. We issued a stop work order at that time. Then began conversations with Brightspeed to get a better understanding of the project. We have met with them. They provided several pieces of information that's included in your agenda packet. Also happy to have Steve Brewer, who is the Director of Government Affairs for Brightspeed, here at our meeting tonight. I'd like to call on Steve if you'd like to brief the board on the plans, please.
Good evening. Again, my name is Steve Brewer. I'm Director of Governmental Affairs for Brightspeed. First of all, I want to apologize for us commencing work within the community prior to meeting. It is my team's responsibility to meet with communities before we do that. Unfortunately, we had a situation, not making excuses, but we had a situation. Cape Carteret works out of a larger wire center. So we met with the larger wire center, but the identification of Cape Carteret as a community that works out of its wire center was not passed along to my team. That issue too has been corrected going forward, so it will not happen to another community. But I apologize. Typically, we do hold a meeting prior to commencing any work to go through our construction process, our street sheet process, and street sheets are simply an indication of where our contract team will be working over the coming days. So that you can know what to expect. We learned, or to ensure that we understand your permitting process and so forth, and tell you a bit more about the company. That meeting did not happen prior to us starting. It absolutely should have. Mr. Rush and I have subsequently had that meeting, but we're very excited to bring our fiber services to your community. Just a very brief bit of information about Brightspeed. We are a privately owned company. a couple of years ago, Apollo Global Management, a very large private investment firm, acquired local assets away from CenturyLink in 20 states to include the state of North Carolina. We are headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our executive leadership team is made up primarily of individuals who previously had constructed Verizon's Fios network, which is Verizon's fiber optic network. And essentially what we are doing in most of our communities is upgrading the existing copper network with fiber. The product that we will be bringing to the market initially will offer 2 gigabytes of speed, and that's 2 gigabytes symmetrical. Symmetrical meaning you get the same speeds coming into your home or business as you do going out of your home or business. The federal definitions, the federal government's definition of broadband is 100 by 20. That's 100 meg coming into your home and 20 meg going out. So the speeds that we'll have available are 20 times and 50 times faster than the federal government's definition of broadband. So again, the copper network will not live on forever. It has been a very useful product to the United States and quite frankly all over the world, but now is the time for fiber, and that's what we're looking to do in your community.
One thing, if I could, Mayor Baker, Commissioners, on the map, I know it's a little bit hard to see on the screen, but one thing I wanted to point out is the bulk of the installation that they're planning in Cape Carteret is via aerial lines on existing telephone power poles. And so where you see a solid black line, those are aerial line installations. Where you see a dashed line, which it's hard to see on that, but clearly in your packet, those are the underground lines. So I just wanted to make that point as well, because the majority of the work will happen in the air and not underground. There is a considerable amount underground as well.
We will not be adding to the pole count in your community. What we typically do is we utilize existing pole lines where they're available. Occasionally, we do deviate from that a bit if the pole requires extensive make-ready work. Sometimes it's down off the pole, go underground. So there, we could find ourselves with some slight deviation. By and large, when there's an existing pole line, we do utilize the existing pole line. You had a member of your community mention the fiber build in her comments this evening. Our contractors who will be complete our contract partners, they will be responsible for the restoration that is necessary.
Can we get that in writing, please? Just for people like this.
That is just simply complex. And quite frankly, Mr. Rush has my contact information. And then I will be happy to be the liaison between the community and our contract partner. If there's any issues whatsoever, you can relay them to me. I will have to take care of. As a matter of fact, I had a meeting this morning with construction manager Swan, which is our contract partner, our construction contractor partner. I had a meeting with him this morning. I had a meeting with SNN, who is our locate partner, this morning as well to discuss exclusively with this community since I was going to be got reassurances from them across the board on how we're to conduct our build in the community and to restore areas that will be underground. So I am happy to address those issues.
Yeah, well,
Where do you acquire your permits for private roads, private neighborhoods? How do you acquire your permits from private neighborhoods such as Cape Point?
Yes, sir. We actually have a team that will be addressing that. You mentioned Cape Point. I've had numerous conversations with Mr. Barnhill,
Deshaun.
I've had communications with him, and before we commence any additional work in his neighborhood, we're going to meet with him. Our contractor will walk through the neighborhood. He indicated he recently went through, or their neighborhood recently went through a gas line upgrade. It went very well, very efficient, and
Okay.
one thing I did want to add, so first of all, to address Ms. Blaze's comments earlier. So number one, I apologize that was your experience. I was not aware of that, and we'll absolutely make that right. But what I did want to point out with regard to Brightspeed is
literally the next day after we had the issues in Cape Point, Steve personally ensured that folks came out and resolved the concerns and cleaned things up in Cape Point. So I think the effort clearly is there from them. So.
I wish Commissioner Barnhill was here. Because she's the one that surely had time with them.
Well, that's the primary reason I
Yeah.
wanted to
Clarify.
to remove it and put it in the regular so we could.
And I have had extensive conversation with Mr. Barnhill. As a matter of fact, I spoke with him at length
You're a
yesterday.
lucky man.
He was extraordinarily gracious. But I had extensive conversation with him yesterday. Our construction supervisor has his contact information. They will be making plans to sync up in order to essentially walk the community to ensure. Mr. Barnhill indicated there was some uniqueness about the community that he wanted to share. He thought it was very helpful in the gas line upgrades, and we have committed to meeting with him before anything takes place there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If you would just pass along, I got a picture of one of the SNN cars, and I just assumed they were one of your contractors.
Yes, sir.
And, evidently that was just one of the big issues, was just being not very nice
We
communication with people.
I thank you for that. I was on the phone with the vice president of SNN this morning for about a half an hour. We've addressed that issue. The individual that was here has been educated, and I don't foresee that issue in the future. But if you experience it, I'm here for you.
More questions?
I'm good. Have they filed for the appropriate permits, Frank?
Yes, they have. If the board is so inclined, the resolution tonight would authorize me to issue the permit.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution as written.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all in favor? All right, well, thank you, sir. We do appreciate you taking.
Thank you. And again, I apologize for the rocky start, but we look forward to serving your community. I grew up just up the road in Edgecombe County. Have been down this area many times and very much respect your community. And again, I apologize we got off to the rocky start, but we'll make it right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is the quarterly report for Police Department. Chief Silva.
How are y'all?
Doing well. Hope you are.
It feels good in here now. It's really hot. All right, so hope everyone's doing good tonight. I'm going to go through the first quarter for 2025 Police Department. Been fairly active for us in the first quarter, but this is the significant accomplishments. We got AEDs as we got through the grant. They've all been issued and deployed to all full-time police officers. Wireless microphones were installed in all of the patrol vehicles, so all officers, even part-timers, have access to the wireless microphones. All full-time officers and one of the part-time officers attended CPR and AED training. That was done over at Weston Carteret Fire Department, so I'd like to thank them for that. Lieutenant Nakamura with the Carteret County Sheriff's Department came and conducted ballistic shield training for all of the officers. All the officers have been issued ballistic shields and have completed that training process. In the first quarter, we did the GHSP grant, and we promoted an individual to Staff Sergeant. He's the number 2 in command of the department, and that is Staff Sergeant Hoffman, and he is here tonight. He was your master police officer detective, but you get a chance to talk to Dave. He's a really nice guy. All right. Next slide. So total activities for the first quarter, total calls for service, 1,703 first quarter. Officers conducted 5,887 directed patrols in your parts through the business area and targeted traffic enforcement operations. Traffic stops conducted 751, investigated 36 motor vehicle collisions, and issued or arrested 209 individuals. Issued citations or arrested. The vast majority of those are citations, and a lot of those were criminal citations. Mutual aid. We had pretty active first quarter for mutual aid. Responded mutual aid 34 times, 17 to Cedar Point. 3 to Emerald Isle, 5 to Pelletier, and 9 through various areas in the county. They did respond to us 9 times, so that's a good thing. And then we assisted EMS and fire with 64 responses.
What's the bulk of your mutual aid to Cedar Point?
They're priority calls, like domestics or motor vehicle collisions where highway patrol has got an extended ETA and they need a law enforcement.
How about barroom fights?
Not lately, but the summer will kick off and I can try to track some of that for you.
Good question.
Well, it's always been an issue for me, for our police officers to get involved in those barroom fights because it ultimately ends up with injuries to the police officer. And we, as a town, we suffer that. The mutual aid in town does not bear any they don't compensate for anything.
I'm with you.
Okay.
100%. Most of the calls this time in the first quarter were domestics or psychological issues where they had a deputy who had just responded to the other side of the county and was trying to get over here. We get there, we secure it, and we just stand by for them. And like I said, highway patrol, if they have a delayed response to a motor vehicle collision, usually fire is going to want a law enforcement officer on scene. So we'll get down there, if the person's intoxicated or something, stand by with them, detain them until highway patrol.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but about a little over a year ago, Sheriff Buck committed 2 extra deputies from Broad Creek West. Are you seeing an improvement?
Oh yes, and they've checked in with us. They've checked in with us a couple of times. There was at Lowe's Home Improvement the other day. We had a subject that was in the Lowe's Home Improvement creating kind of a disturbance. We got 3 patrol cars backing us up that day. So they're coming if they're available to help us out. So we're getting mutual aid back from them. So and Sheriff Buck has been very positive. Some of the things that he's offered for us, if we have an overdose fatality that now has to be treated as a homicide, they are the experts pretty much right now in the state for that. They will come in and take that completely over if necessary. They'll work along with us for that. Any major case narcotics investigations, we're a small department, can't do major case narcotics investigations, just don't have the manpower. They will handle all of those for us. They've already agreed to do that.
So they're officers that are assigned primarily to the western end of the county. Are they what we would classify as patrol officers?
That's correct. Okay. Yeah, one's a lieutenant. Lieutenant Nakamura.
Yeah, he's Cedar Point.
Right.
He's their hired.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
40-hour week cop. Yeah. So you're answering mutual aid calls when he's evidently not on duty, right?
Or to back them up.
Okay. Just trying to get the gist of everything.
Yes, sir. All right. Any questions? Any more questions on mutual aid? All right. And then any questions at all about police department? Any concerns?
Yeah, last time we spoke, you were going to, not crack down is a bad word, but you were going to start enforcing the inner neighborhood speeding and stoplight running and things like that. Have you seen a slowdown in that?
We'll sit on stop signs and we will get them slowed down for about a week. And then when we come back around to sit on those stop signs, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We're getting the radar trailer in the neighborhood. That tends to help. We can put the radar trailer on one side and then do radar enforcement on the other. That happened a lot in Star Hill, and I've put the radar trailer several times in Bay Shore. Hopefully that's helped out down there.
Well, as you know, you're out and about, but one of my number one complaints, I guess, is a lot of people walk neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
and they're blowing through the stop signs, especially work trucks,
Right.
dump trucks, and that's a scary situation to think about what could
So
happen.
that was one of the issues. I talked with a couple of the officers last week that were radar certified, was that we noticed even with the speed being reduced in 35 zone, and most people that are speeding are like work crews or work trucks moving through, so maybe we will start targeting some of that commercial motor vehicle traffic.
We'd love to see you in Country Club Point.
And I hear a lot of it too, the same, just in, Star Hill. I think, to me, that's kind of the priority is, like you said, people are walking. It's that time, people are getting out more, driving left of center or whatever the case may be on Yopon. But tis the season for that, and we get a lot of it too. So I agree with you.
We will continue to address that.
We realize you can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, any help be appreciated.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Chief.
I did get to see the new unmarked car the Highway Patrol has. Guy pulled out in front of me off of Yo Pond, just flying past the school, and then he hit the lights and went around me, and I'm like, wow, glad I was doing the speed limit.
You sure he wasn't checking you out?
I think he was, but
I
that
hear
guy
you.
got his attention. He had different needs than I did.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chief.
Chief, and congratulations, Sergeant. All right, moving on. Appointments is next. Planning Board alternate, 2 members.
Mayor Baker, we have a ballot in your packet if you want to use the ballot process.
Okay, y'all want to use the ballot process?
Yeah.
I've already filled mine out.
I'll just sit here and wait.
Oh, if you're collecting, I'm getting worried.
As you know, the mayor does not get to vote on things. They'll just sit here and look pretty. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, Mayor. By the way, just want to acknowledge Miriam. Walter, we appreciate you being here. And Brad, good to see you off the internet.
Oh, 2. Thanks, Brent.
Guess I need
to start following directions.
Directions to come see us tonight?
I use my phone.
It's been like 5 years since you've been in here.
I use my phone.
While they're tallying, I just want to mention the board, in July, I'll be becoming the chairman for the ILA, so we'll need to have somebody take my spot to be the voting member, so we can either pick somebody on the board if you all want to discuss it.
Can we
next
vote
month.
for
We'll bring it
Courtney
up on the
because she's
next
not
board
here?
meeting.
I would like an update on, is it true that they bought a helicopter? I mean, not to get off topic here, but,
Helicopter?
Huh?
I ain't heard about that.
okay.
Did you hear that out in the beach?
No, right now, the struggle is trying to get the budget done and lower the rate properly.
I'd like to get a good solid update on the ILA at some point in time, if you get a chance to there, Mayor.
I usually try to send out the quarterly reports, just so I can send them to you directly.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a huge,
And that's just like with the chief, the numbers is astronomical. It's almost double right now, the response. I mean, I can sit at my house and it's like every 15 minutes, they're going out.
that's a huge budget too.
It is very big, very big.
You got a lot of responsibility, though. Got 5 towns.
That's why I think it's important that we have a board member representing us on that board, because it does affect our town.
I know it does.
So, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we do have a majority that has voted for Cherie Higgins.
Cherie Higgins.
We do not have a majority for anyone else, so I can recast those ballots. I can tell you who received votes. So William Winslow received 1 vote. Kelly Burton received 1 vote. And then Scott
Malachewski.
there you go, received 2 votes. So obviously you need 3 out of the 4 in order to get a majority. I can give those.
You want to vote again, or?
Can I change my vote to public, like just right here in front of everybody, just change my vote to Scott?
Sure. So it'd be a motion. So this ballot, nobody got it. But if you're making a motion that Scott,
Malachewski.
receive the 2nd seat, and then we'll just have someone second that motion.
I will second that.
So,
I'll second his motion.
okay.
Okay. And then just
All in
vote.
favor?
All right. We got 3 out of 4.
Opposed?
Okay. We got Scott. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's MALESHEFSKI.
And I'm ashamed to say I know none of them. I did read the resumes thoroughly, but I'm ashamed to say I don't know them.
You're not alone. I didn't either.
If they've ever been in the boardroom, I don't remember.
Congratulations to them. Welcome to the board. Next up is our town manager report, Frank.
Thank you, Mayor Baker. Commissioners, just a few things verbally. Number one, Gene Foxworth obviously begins work in this role on May the 1st. He and I have now met 3 times over the last few weeks and have talked on the phone several times. We're currently coordinating on filling the vacant finance director position and the vacant administrative assistant position, and working to have him in a position to appoint individuals for those roles shortly after he arrives on May 1st, if not sooner, perhaps. We are recruiting for the finance director and the administrative assistant position right now. We've received several applications for each position, and again, trying to bring that to a conclusion shortly after Gene's arrival here with the town. Your May 12th meeting will have the presentation of the fiscal 25-26 recommended budget. I will present that, and then you will have 2 budget workshop meetings on May 19th and May 26th. And if you're so inclined and ready, the budget would be adopted by the board theoretically at your June 9th regular meeting. And we'll see how that goes. I hope that I can bring you a recommended budget that satisfies and addresses your highest priorities for the town, as we discussed both in February and then throughout the course of the year. Planning Board Member Holtz mentioned the Channelview Court relocation. I have tasked Tidewater and Associates with reviewing the existing surveys and deeds for the properties along Channelview Court. I expect that we'll resolve that in the coming weeks. Taylor Notion Road multi-use path, meeting tomorrow with Sunland. We are completely back on track now, so I expect to see some significant progress out there in the coming weeks. Glad to finally have the permitting issues resolved completely, and looking forward to getting that project complete. Several other things included in the written materials. I won't touch on those, but certainly if you have any questions or concerns, I'm happy to answer whatever I can. Yes, sir.
I just want to compliment Ryan and his staff for the Reflection Park. It looks absolutely fabulous. Thank you. I don't know if anybody's been out there to look at it.
I haven't been out there yet. I need to go.
Just check it out.
Yeah, we're nearing completion on that, and we will have a ribbon cutting at some point for the bicycle, the multi-use path, and the reflection area. So we're working on that.
Any more questions for Frank? I also want to point out, in case you didn't realize, Gene Foxworth is sitting in the back here. We'll be taking over the reins on May 1st.
I guess, Frank, did I read in the paper that you're officially starting May 1st for the town animal owl, or June 1st?
June 1st in Emerald
Okay.
Isle. Yeah.
I thought I read May 1st. That's why I asked.
I'll be here with Cape Carteret through at least May 8th or 9th.
Okay.
All right, with that, we have commissioner reports. As you know, Commissioner Barnhill is not here this evening, but she did pass along something for me to read for her. So these are her words, not mine. If I had a wig, I'd put it on so I'd have her voice hair.
Please.
Anyway, this is to you, Frank. It says, Frank, congratulations on escaping, moving on from your role as Cape Carteret Town Manager. On a serious note, thank you for your dedicated service as Town Manager and for the time, wisdom, and leadership you've shared. Working with you has been a privilege, and I've learned so much through your example. Your professionalism, calm under pressure, and commitment to the community have left a lasting impression. I'm sure you'll bring your signature blend of calm leadership, dry humor, and ninja-level crisis management to your next adventure. Emerald Isle is lucky to have you, Courtney Barnhill.
Thank you.
I'll let you keep that.
Thank you.
And we'll start with Steve.
Yeah, Frank, I'd like to echo what Commissioner Barnhill said and add a couple things. Like I've said before, I really, honestly and truly don't see how we could have completed the stormwater improvements that we had on our list, or the trail for that matter, without your leadership, and the money that you saved the town in both efforts was astronomical. And for that, we thank you too. And Mayor, I would like completing the trail is a big deal. It's been going on 15 years, I think, Minnie.
No.
I would like to have a ribbon cutting that also the public's welcome, but personally invite previous elected officials that poured sweat and blood into trying to get this thing done.
That's my
I think
take.
it's only fair to have them included in the process. We've all suffered tremendously trying to get this thing done, and we see the end in sight, thanks to Frank here. I think it needs to be a big celebration. It's something good for the town, and it's been long overdue, and hope we learned our lesson to not start anything until we have the funds to complete it. But other than that, thanks, Ryan, where you at? Ryan, thanks again, buddy. I mean, you did good on the reflection area. So,
We're almost there. The fountain and waiting on the bench, but it's not ready.
yeah, I said, met Frank and Ryan out there one day, and I had a couple pieces of paper, and I said, guys, this is what I envision here. It's up to you guys, and both of them, it's off the charts. It's something to be proud of.
It's beautiful.
It's really nice. It's going to be a nice area. But I'm upset with the state of North Carolina, though. Frank included that in his report. We had intended to plant trees down 58 on the right of way to enhance the looks of the trail and whatnot, provide some shade and some privacy for the walkers from the traffic. And North Carolina, we bought the trees.
Had the holes dug.
And the holes are done.
And North Carolina told us they had just passed the legislation. Some bright legislator in Raleigh decided that we can't plant those trees, that particular kind of tree, which is a crepe myrtle. And if you look in our town, crepe myrtles are everywhere. So you can no longer plant a crepe myrtle in the state of North Carolina on town right on a state DOT right away. So we lost that effort, but hopefully we can identify some native born trees and apply for the permits. And I think Mr. Foxworth will probably take that effort up. I hope he does. But Gene, looking forward to working with you. So I guess you'll be sitting over there in the May meeting. Welcome aboard. And Frank, good luck.
Thank you.
That's all I got to say.
Frank, really appreciate everything you've done for us. You've done a great job. And I'm really happy that you're going to get to do what you wanted to do to round it all out. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse anymore because I know Commissioner Ritchie, and he is as well. So thank you. And fair winds and following seas. Gene, you got big shoes to fill. Good luck.
Frank, all I can say is thank you.
Thank you.
I've known you a long time. We've worked together at the county level, worked together over in MLL. Kind of envious that you're going home, but I'm glad that you're going home because I know that's where you want to be. But what you did here was absolutely fabulous. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to see you go, and I've already told you that. So,
Thank you.
Cameron?
Well, I hate going last in the list of thank yous.
No, I'm last.
But yeah, Frank, when we had a stack of resumes and we were flipping through things, it's amazing how far we've come, and to think back to that selection process and to think of what we were faced with, the stormwater, all these drainage issues, we had a lot going on, and me being kind of new to this board, it was kind of scary. It was like, I don't even know that I can do this. And so we hired the sharpest one in the stack of applications, and man, did it really work out for us. And so I thank you. We've I've been able to talk with you in your office. You certainly educate me on a lot of things, town and ordinance wise, and you have over 30 years of experience doing this. So it definitely makes our job easier when we have someone that is as well qualified as Frank and now Gene in that position. So it really helps us as a town. So anyway, everybody has said it. We can't say it enough. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I did want to thank the planning board. I'm sorry, did somebody say something? Oh, I've watched a lot of the deliberations on a lot of these things that have come up. So I wanted to say thank you to the planning board. It is very nice to, when we have something on the agenda, to be able to go back and watch the video and listen to sort of the deliberation from you guys. So I wanted to say, I wanted to say that last time and I skipped it on my list. So definitely saying it this time. So thank you for that. I think that's it for me. Gene, welcome aboard. I look forward to everything moving forward, and that's all I have.
Well, like these guys said, Frank, I can't say enough how much I appreciate it. I think I'm not a religious man, but I think God has truly blessed this town by you being here and then having Gene come in next. I mean, just luck, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just so excited for the town that you were able to do the great job you did for us. I wish you nothing but the best thing over across the bridge there. They're very lucky to have you, and we're very lucky to have Gene coming in right behind you. I just feel our town's just the ship is smoothly going with our leadership right now, and I just can't say enough of how impressed I am with how things worked out. And it's all about the people too. So the people here, are, we've done a great job in this town. The staff we have, oh my Lord, I know I'm just beating the dead horse again, but I think it's important for people to realize the great job you have done, and the town is just an amazing place to be, and I just feel honored and blessed to be here, just living here, not to mention being on this board. And so with that, sir, if you have anything you'd like to say.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Baker. And everyone, thank you for the kind words. And more importantly, thank you for your support over the last 3 years in serving you and serving the community of Cape Carteret. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to be here with you all for the last nearly 3 years. Thankful for the town staff. You've got a good group of people here, Gene, and community at large. A lot of good folks working hard to make Cape Carteret a better place, and you are blessed in that regard. And then finally, to the people of Cape Carteret, I've enjoyed working again with some people that I knew from my previous experience before I left for California, and certainly enjoyed meeting new people and developing new relationships. So thank you all for the support that you've shown me. And I won't be too far away. If I can help with anything, I'm happy to do that. And again, just thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Well, we have a closed session. We're not going to do any action after that, but we're going to go into closed session now for attorney-client privilege and real property acquisition. If I have a motion to do that.
I'll make the motion.
All right, second.
Second.
In favor? Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. How you doing down here?
Are we staying here or are we going in the other room?
Let's see if the room clears.
Okay.
Linger too much.
Hey, Dot. How you doing?
Roll call.